This is my region locked Barbarian, and the north is home. With Hallis as my base of operation, I am locking myself to the 3 regions connected to the north. Everfrost Peaks, a maze of frozen canyons and tundra plains. Blackburrow, lair to the knolls and blockade to the rest of the world. And Permafrost, a frost giant citadel and home to the barbarian's greatest foe, the Dragon Fox. Using only what is available within these regions, I must achieve maximum level and take on the North's greatest challenge. Welcome back, brothers and sisters of the North. I think this is where we're going to go ahead and begin the next episode. Now, I had mentioned before that I was probably going to linger at the Giants for a little bit, and there was a chance that we were going to get some rapid dings. Let's get after it. Welcome back, nerds. We're still here. We're still at the Giants. We're still giving them hell and beating up some big boys. I think I'm only going to stay here until level 40. I think at 40 we're going to end up moving on, and this is going to be a bit of a a bit of a weirder video, if you will. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Because we're just going to be doing the hitting part of the hitting, sitting, and selling game. Slapping around these big dorks. And I had thrown up a post in the community tab of my channel. Just basically, if you guys had some topics of conversation, if you had any questions, or if you just wanted to say hi, whatever the case may be, whatever it is, that we would discuss that. I would talk about it while we were running amok and murdering enemies here in Norath. And I also reached out to the Clickbait boys, reached out to the boys, the gang, if you will. And in their podcast, they had asked a bunch of questions. It was what the first podcast was about. Is Skeleton had a whole mess of questions for both Classic and Slay and himself. And they kind of just chatted about that stuff as they, sat around and talked about EQL. Because their first podcast was focused on this game in particular. And I asked if they had the questions, and that I would give my opinion on them, on these questions while I was recording, while I'm beating things up in Norath. So that's something else we can get into. But the first thing we're going to cover here is that while I was getting those, those rapid dings, yeah, it wasn't a whole bunch. We stopped at 39. Taking a long time, man. It takes a long time to get levels. Not really. If the world was my oyster, it wouldn't be as bad. But big giant ass butt. Anyway. While I was getting those levels, Miss America reached out and sent me a message, but I ended up getting logged out. Because I was messing around with my editing software, and I was also trying to get OBS to recapture my microphone. I don't know what the hell happened, but sometimes it doesn't update, and it's like, yeah, we're going to go back to default settings, and everything that you've personalized, yeah, fuck all that. We're not doing any of that stuff. So Miss America reached out and basically just some encouragement, some positivity about the the series. Said he loved it. Absolutely sensational. Made a comment about, because I was like, come on down to Permafrost, get yourself a Christmas tree. And it was like, you just want to see some female troll ass. And I was like, what? What? She built different. She built different, boys. She built different. Anyway, so thank you so much for reaching out. Absolutely badass. While I was getting those levels, Grimgauler stopped by, pretty low level, made the run all the way out here. Another Barbarian, another brother of the North, and he just wanted to say hi. He just stopped by to say, hey, how you doing? I hit him with some buffs, and he went about his way. He was like, all right, I'm headed off to die. He was swagging through the tundra, So Absolutely badass, Grim. Appreciate you coming all the way out here just to be like, hey, what's up, dork? Badass. So I appreciate you. Thank you. And before we go into the whole podcast thing, because it's a lot to drink in. There's a lot of stuff. It's, disclaimer. I don't know nerds. I'm just one dork who loves Norath. Am I going to have a perfect answer for any of these questions? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm just one idiot who loves the game. That being said, we're going to start with you guys first. We're going to start with the compliment section. We're going to start with the post that I put up and your guys' questions, comments, concerns, all those things. And the first one is from Mikey. And Mikey asked, of course, the ghost of Reckitt's house starts running its mouth. He asked, what is the difference between WoW and EQ players and the symmetries? I think that's a difficult topic of discussion because it's very similar because there's multiple ways to play World of Warcraft, and there are multiple ways to play EverQuest. It's like, what is the difference between the P99 players as opposed to retail EverQuest? The difference is they love what they love, and I've talked about it before, whether you play fast, whether you play slow, whatever it is, whatever you're enjoying about the game, that's what matters. Yeah, damn. That's what's important. If you're having fun, that's what matters. That's the first thing. I think people are, the OGs, the classic boys, whether it's classic EverQuest, whether it's classic World of Warcraft. These guys are in love with what the game was. There was a time frame, there was a snippet in time that just resonated with them. Whether they've got memories with the game, whether that's where their guild is, whether that's where their friends play, or they, it was a different time in their life, and jumping into that classic era, brings them right back, and they absolutely love that. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's sensational, man. The guys out there roughing it on P99, goddamn. Hats off to you nerds. You guys are getting it done. As far as World of Warcraft in its retail, I don't know a whole lot. It's a fast-moving beast, but so is retail EQ. And I think that people love, where EverQuest is growing, where it's gone, or whether they've got, they've spent too much time and too much money on it to quit. Now they're like, I'm in it, man. I done bought every expansion. I've been paying for this shit forever. We ain't giving up yet, man. And they've enjoyed it, or they've made friends while they're there. I think that there's always going to be some degree of, or some snippet of outside source that keeps these people playing. But I also think that the fun factor, because that's huge subjective. It's a subjective, subject is their fun versus what I think is fun. They're like, oh, this is the best shit out there. And I can talk about my experience with retail World of Warcraft, because I was doing the fisherman stuff on classic World of Warcraft, or classic Cataclysm, and then it moved to classic Mist of Pandaria, and I was like, this isn't for me. So in between that time period, I decided I was going to play retail with my brother, who is a huge retail World of Warcraft player. He still plays to this day. He still has the same characters that he had back in the day when we played, when it actually was classic. And he loves it. He does the raids, he does the mythics, and he loves that stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'll make a guy and we'll level up. I'll level up. I was fucking around. I just want to lead with, I was screwing around in the game. I was doing dumb quests. I was messing around, and I made a Forsaken rogue, because that is my jam. That is my jam. The Forsaken rogue is my favorite, and that's just what it is. But I got to level 80. The max level was 80. I got to level 80 in 2 days. 2 days of playing, and I was max level. And then it was, you know, learn how to fly the dragon, how to train your dragon, and then there was some. I'm gonna fuck a lot of this up because it's like I don't know the names of all the stuff, so just bear with me, nerds. There was like some outer space area, some void land or something like that, and I remember doing something, a quest line or whatever for a ribbon. There was like this ribbon or this sash or whatever that I had to get for whatever reason, and I had reached a point where I no longer knew what the fuck I was doing in the game. Like I couldn't tell you what the story was. I couldn't tell you what the story was because I was playing with him, and I was playing with some of his raid, or not raid group, some of his guild, and they're just blaring through shit. They're just blaring through shit to get it done, and I was like, okay, you know, I'd reached a point where I got the ribbon, and one of the guys, we were in a Discord chat, he said, "You've unlocked your skip." And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? And he was like, oh, you know, you're a skip. And he's like, so you never have to do this quest with another character on this server, I guess. And I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? That's a thing? Like that's a real thing? And they were like, yeah, and they were kind of laughing at me, and I was like, I'm about to turn the fucking game off. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't for me. It felt too fast, and then, you know, I was like, like, okay, so we're doing the mythics. We got the mythics done. You know, we're getting the loot, I guess. What is the point to get, like, all the stuff, you know, for the season or whatever it is? You know, what then what? What's the end goal, baby? What's the plan? What's the play? And they were like, oh, so that we're ready to do the mythics faster. And I was like, are you telling me that we're doing the dungeon to get the shit so that we can do the same fucking stuff that we're already doing? I know this sounds negative, and I'm not trying to make it sound negative, but I was like, bro, fuck that. But then again, you know, in their defense, in, you know, an argument for them is, I'm hanging out in, you know, a tiny little area in the hitting, sitting, and selling game, and, you know, I'm killing the same 3 assholes for experience. So it's whatever makes you smile, dude. Whatever makes you happy. That's what fucking matters. All right. I don't know. That's a terrible answer. That's a terrible answer. Whatever. Play what's fun, man. Play what's fun. I do think it's interesting, though. I do think it's interesting. I do think that there's a lot of similarities between the, you know, the classic World of Warcraft player and the, you know, the classic EverQuest player, as opposed to the retail, you know, EQ and retail WoW. You know, I think that there's something that could be that could be said there, to be like, it's probably pretty close. These guys like the classic version. These guys like the, you know, the retail version. Because classic versions, the sad truth of it is that the classic version of the game, you know, if it's a progressive like a TLP or whatever, eventually it catches up with some of the, you know, some of the retail stuff, or, you know, gets closer to the goalpost, if you will. And that's where, you know, people drop off, people stop playing. You know, I don't have a lot of experience with the TLPs, but I know that, like, when they reach Planes of Power, people are like, okay, we're done. You know, and then supposedly that's when the server dies. So eventually Classic goes away, unless it's always locked in Classic. And at which point that means the game has, you know, a definitive end. To where retail is like, you can do, you know, if there's more expansions coming out, there's gonna be more things to do. So, and maybe they like the thrill of that, the thrill of the unknown. So, I don't know. I don't know. I led with none of these answers are gonna be good. All right. But super cool, Mikey. Thank you for, you know, you know, the little food for thought, you know, little snack for the soul there to, you know, made me kind of think a little bit about, you know, what is the difference? Well, he sent us on a loop. Sent us on a loop. All right. Who do we got next? Sorry, I'm trying to find it on my second screen. Oh, we're so scary. We're so scary. We're so scary. Yeah, damn. All right, next is from TIHP, Twitch. We're just going to go Twitch. I finished upgrading Flame of Light 10, so now I'm just screwing around for the remainder of beta. Unless they suddenly put Luxio, Luxio, whatever that is, back in the game so we can finish the Burning Souls quest. Then it's back on for real. Well, Twitch, that's absolutely badass that you got whatever it is you were looking for done. And I don't know what the other thing is, because I'm not that deep in the bushes of, of all the EverQuest things. But hell yeah, man, congratulations on getting the plus 10, the plus 10 Flame of Light. Oh, sorry about that. My little boy had a question as well. Wanted to know if it could be snack 30, and it absolutely can. It absolutely can, little buddy. You go up there and get yourself a snack. All right. Vahirus said, I have no nostalgia for EverQuest, but I love watching your videos because your voice is soothing. Having you on while I play Monsters and Memories or can't sleep feels like having a friend in the room with me who's just passionately talking about his favorite game. Thank you for existing. Yeah, damn. Ugh, gross. Look, there's a frog. Gross. All right, I suppose that's his. Suppose that's his giant. Oh no, that. Oh my god. Is that what happens to sled every time I zone? What the hell was that? Oh, he must have resisted. Get out here. Bahira, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. And I appreciate you. Thank you for existing. God damn. Again, I'm not sure if this is if this is the greatest gonna be the greatest of episodes. But it is cool to talk to you guys and get to, you know, get your guys' opinions on stuff, or you just answer dumb questions or really good questions. I have those comfort videos myself. You know, where it's like, I'm gonna turn this on, I'm just gonna listen. A lot of the stuff that I listen to is I'll either listen to, you know, I'll throw on the Clickbait Boys, you know, one of their videos around or something like that, and then have to go back and play catch up because I fell asleep or whatever the case may be. But I also watch a lot of old school RuneScape stuff, and yeah, I love it. I love it. There's comfort videos, like that, and also like retrospectives of like Morrowind or, you know, Skyrim and Oblivion, you know, and how they've changed and what went down. And there's some absolutely fabulous content creators out there with those videos, as well as, like, you know, the old school RuneScape stuff. You know, Swampletics, watching Settled, you know, is one of my favorites. So yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you. What are your comfort videos? In the, you know, in the comments down below, what is your comfort videos? I don't know if anybody will answer that, because when we get onto the podcast questions, they're tough questions. The boys were thinking when they came up with these. They were like, all right, man, how can we make this as how can we make this spicy? Shut up, Ghost. We're playing EverQuest. All right. All right, next is from John Doe and Dell. And he said, I don't really have a question, but I've been enjoying all the content, new and old, brother. Keep up the good work. I will say your Northlock challenge has me thinking about how many places you could do that and how far you could get with each one of them. That's awesome, man. That's absolutely badass. That is a huge compliment for me personally when someone is like, brother, you have inspired me to come back to Norath, or I would like to do, you know, a similar you know, playthrough with my character, you know, and put your own spin on it. Obviously, you know, of course, put your own, you know, your own pizzazz in that as well. So I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. Also, absolutely thank you. Thank you. I've really enjoyed this challenge. I just wish I had like longer. I wish I had like a couple weeks more. You know, to kind of explore some of my options out here in the bitter cold. I think that'd be nice. But I think that's one of the reasons I'm trying to level crunch so hard is I can see the, you know, the end of the road. I can see the, you know, like, oh, the server is going to go, you know, come down, beta's going to be over with. And what I don't want is to be level, you know, 35 and being like, well, we got fuck all done. We got fuck all done, but I had a good time. In all honesty, if I got fuck all done and I don't get the challenge done, I've still had a great time. And if we don't get the challenge done, if we don't get it done, we're going to go again. I will get this done. All right. As always, I need a drink. And I forgot one. So I'm going to kill this giant. And then I think we're going to pause up for a second. And I'm going to go refresh my water. And then we're going to, damn, he cracked the shit out of me. That's right, you turn around and get out of here, dork. Then we'll move on to the next question. You guys were, the reception was good. The reception was good. I think that, the bulk of this is probably going to be the, the other questions, but we'll get to those. All right, I'm going to be right back. All right, got ourselves a delicious bottle of purified water. And after I have myself a sip, we will continue. So, the next question comes from Ricci. And Ricci has been on the channel for quite some time. Ricci is he's my channel troll. He's typically got something funny to say. I love reading his comments. I love reading all the comments, but he typically makes me laugh. So this jackass. Ricci says, why are you throwing so much shade for the world-renowned martial arts expert Steven Seagal? I've always thought you were kind of like the Steven Seagal of EQ content creators. I would hate to have to change my opinion. Oh my god. My response to that is well received. All right, I'm sorry. You're right. I shouldn't be talking shit. And also, fuck you. Goddamn. Thank you, Ricci. That question made me laugh, so I appreciate you, brother. Hope you're doing good as well. Oh, he resisted my drowsy. We did switch back to drowsy. I guess I could cover some of this stuff as well. I switched back to drowsy because Lang Pace is just too much mana for only like a 5% slow gain. It's not the slow isn't that much better. And drowsy is just more mana efficient, and it's working out just as good. So we swapped that over. Also at 39, we've had some upgrades. I didn't cover those at the beginning, and I'm sorry. We got a brand new sled. You know, we've got the Spirit of Sled, level 39 version. You know, he's getting bigger, he's getting stronger, he's drinking milk. He's still whipping ass. He's still whipping ass and taking names. We got an upgrade, I believe, to his proc. So we got Spirit of the Scorpion, which is nice. We also got Spirit of the Monkey, which is awesome. That Spirit of the Monkey does stack with the accuracy potion. So, you know, our dex is up to 160. So that's super good. We also got a quickness buff for Sled. So he's, you know, ooh, baby. He's whipping some ass. So we got those. I think I spent some more AAs as well. I think I put another point into Steadfast Will, and I think that was all I did. I'm pretty sure that was the only upgrade in the AA department. And I think that under disciplines we got some new Mage Bane stuff. We got, you know, anti-magic at 36, which I didn't cover in the last video. It's just giving concussive and banishing. And then we've got, you know, this has got anti-mage, so it's got befuddling and banishing. So they're all good things, all good things. I don't really need those unless I'm fighting a magic user, but they are good in the sense that, you know, they lose mana when I'm schwacking them, and this knocks magical effects off them. So pretty good. This is pretty good for, you know, fighting an enemy that's all buffed up and, you know, got mana for days. Which I'm sure we, you know, hopefully we don't come across, man, because fighting magic users sucks. but yeah, some good gains, some absolutely sensational gains for our northern boy. I did turn the game volume down a little bit, the sound effects, just because I'm tired of it just blasting my fucking eardrums. So, and you can still, I mean, you guys really want to hear a bunch of giants go, wow, you know, or whatever the fuck they're doing, whatever the noise may be. So I turned that down a little bit because I'm constantly like concerned to be like, is it, you know, is those sound effects like drowning me out? But so far there's been no complaint in that department, so I suppose I could have just left it as it was. But I didn't. I turned it down. Moving on from Reachi's very funny, very funny comment. Pale Owl says, "Hi, how you doing, Pale? What's going on, Owl? How you doing? I hope you're doing good." He also says, "This wait for live launch is painful. I'm trying not to play while also enjoying the content out there. Keep up the good work." Absolutely sensational, man. I'm glad that you're enjoying. I'm glad that everybody who, you know, has reached out in the compliment section and, you know, just shown some encouragement, some love, you know, to pop in. It's been fantastic. It has been fantastic. And I can absolutely understand, you know, the wait for live kind of sucks. Because, you know, not everybody jumped at the chance, you know, for the pre-order. That, you know, they wanted to wait, you know, let it marinate, see what it was, you know, drink in some content, be like, is this for me? And that's smart. I think that's smart to go, you know what, I'm not gonna, you know, just immediately dive in. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm glad you're enjoying the series. And what's your plan for a build? What's your plan for a build, Owl? What are you doing, Owl? You got an idea, or are you just gonna wing it? It's okay if you're just gonna wing it. I'm probably just gonna wing it. I'm probably not gonna wing it. I'll have a dumb plan. Go ahead and get rebuffed up. And while we're getting rebuffed up, I made potions. I just got potions. We're gonna drink another. What we got here? Yeah, we're gonna drink our last accuracy. So we might make a trip back to house. That's fine if we do. Get that going. I'm pretty sure I have more. Yeah, there we go. Takes forever to drink. These potions are fucking huge, nerd. These potions are huge. His comment, Owl's comment, received a couple comments under it. Okay, mystical aptitude. And then we've got, there we go. There we go. It's terrific that all these potions look the fucking same. I did make some potions of frost, by the way. I forgot to mention that as well. So these are just teleports. Teleports me to Everfrost. So, you know, if I'm feeling lazy. All right. Drink one of these bad boys, and then we'll drink up these and keep on keeping on. But he had some responses as well. Lost Ends replied and said that he feels the, you know, the wait for launch is painful, but also he's already leveled 2 sets of 3 up to level 42. Do I regret it? Yes. Did I learn a lot that will be helpful on launch? Also, yes. I think I'll stop playing a week before launch and no videos on EQL. He said, sorry, Wreck-It. thy will be cleansed. That's all good, Lost Ends. That is perfectly fine. That is perfectly fine. There's a lot of stuff, and I don't know if you guys do this as well. If there's a game that I see like a trailer for, shut the hell up, you stupid machine. If I see like this trailer for a video game and I'm like, oh my, yeah, that looks good. Or also like a movie that I want to watch, I will go I'll try my best to just go, no spoilies. I don't want any spoilies for this game. And I think one of the games that, you know, I did that with the most when it came to like actual gameplay was Baldur's Gate 3. I just tried really hard to be like, I don't want tips, I don't want tricks, I don't want secrets, I don't want the best start ever, you know, become powerful early game. You know, I didn't want any of that shit. I just wanted to wait and absorb the content of the game at my own pace, at my own speed, and just drink it in. Just drink it in. So, and I'll also like do that with movies. If there's a movie that I'm hyped to check out and you spoil it for me, there's going to be a fucking discrepancy. I'm going full Yosemite Sam, you know. Oh, that shit pisses me off when people do that. And I'm not naming anything that I'm interested in watching or playing because someone will do it on purpose in the comments. So yeah, the wait for a game and something like that, something you're hyped about, man, it can be tough. It can be tough. Man, XP is just moving right along still. We're at 51% already. I don't remember what we were at when I started, but I feel it's the Giants are so good. The Giants have been so good to us. They've been so good to us. What's our money at, by the way? Oh, god damn. We've been here a minute, nerds. We've been here a minute. we got money. What am I going to do with it? Probably restock potions when Box kicks my ass a bunch. So, all right. And I think that is, yeah, that is all the quest. Oh no, Ricci replied to that as well and said, from what I understand, the servers go down on the 21st. That is correct. So we will be forced to take a week break before the 28th. So, very true. Very true. And I think during that time, I might play something else. I might play something else. I might just take, you know, I might just take that break, you know? Take that break. Cleanse thy soul. You know? I'm right there with Lost Ends, you know, just take a breather. Just, you know, after this sweaty ass shit, I'm gonna have to go outside, you know what I'm saying? Touch some grass. Touch some grass. That's bullshit. I gotta touch grass. We're relocating my pool. We're relocating the pool in the backyard, so a bunch of shit moved around in the yard, and then we had to drain the pool, take it apart. It's nothing super fancy. It's not super ass fancy pool or anything like that, but you know, still out there doing some stuff, touching some things. Our dill, the dill in my garden, we have some of that. So, you know, the wife is making some pickles. That's gonna be the shit. I personally don't know how long you gotta wait. Because she's good at all that stuff. She does canning and all those things. You know, she's really good at, you know, making, like, using the tomatoes and stuff like that, making marinara sauce, making, you know, spaghetti sauce, that kind of stuff. She's super good at that shit. So, and I actually prefer that over being like, oh, we're gonna go buy some stuff, which, you know, if you got to go buy some stuff, go buy some stuff, man. Whatever it is. Because I'll eat that shit too. I'll eat that as well. I'm not like, oh man, don't ever buy. Well, but I'll great value spaghetti sauce, you know, in a pinch. You know, it's been one of those weeks. Yeah. Put it on my plate, nerd. Oh man. Oh man, I feel like they were doing more damage here lately. That's okay, they're just getting lucky. They're just getting lucky. Alright. Creeping up. What are we getting? We're getting like 1.5, 1.6 per, depending on what they are. Some of them they're starting to blue out. Some of them are starting to be blue, but some of these boys are still yellow. No longer. Gone are the days of them all being red. Gone are the days of, you know, almost 5% XP per kill. And that's okay. That means we're getting stronger. We're getting stronger. We're drinking milk. We're a big deal out here in the north. I think I do probably hold the record, though, for most un-ice giant killed in the beta. I'm gonna put that on my resume. Put that as an accolade, you know. We're getting it done, boys. Oh, hello. Hello, it's good to see you. I didn't need anything. I was just looking at your character. Running around being a puppy. Awesome. All right, let's move on to the tough questions. I'm gonna bring that up, so I'm gonna pause up here real quick. We'll bring that up, and they're in depth. I'm probably gonna have really long, you know, warning, disclaimer. I'm gonna have really long, stupid answers to probably most of these, or really short, stupid answers to most of these. So, give me just a second. All right, we got quite a few. There's quite a few questions there. There's a lot to unpack. Oh, he's blue. Look at how blue he is. All right, question 1 from the Camp Check Clickbait podcast, which is on Skeletane's channel. And you can see how Skeletane and Classic and Slayheim go through all these questions. I'm gonna run through them, give probably a really ugly, you know, dumb answer to most of them. But it'll make sense for me. It'll make sense for me. So the first question is, what was your experience with closed / pre-order beta? I would say my experience is probably close to what most people who were a part of the closed and pre-order beta. In the closed beta, the closed beta, the very first beta, the earliest version of beta, I just made a whatever character. I had a barbarian, and I ran around, and it was fun. You know, we were exploring. This was before, you know, the revamps. This was, you know, we just had the classic items, the classic gear. And I think you know, the honeymoon phase, you know what I'm talking about, where everybody was just like, we were all in the Discord, we were, you know, chatting each other up, being like, oh dude, this here, like, what about this build, and what about this, and what about this? And there was a lot of unknown. There was a lot of unknown stuff, and everybody was just dinking around with their new Christmas toys, you know what I'm saying? That was the feel. That was the feel for me. Is I was like, this is wild, man, and also a lot of fun. And I was just very happy and very grateful to be a part of it. To get to enjoy it, to, you know, just, you know, not turn on the recorder or anything like that, because, you know, there was still an NDA, and just enjoy the game at, you know, my own speed, at my own pace. And that was a lot of fun. Moving on to the closed beta, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to kind of I wanted to like see the limitation of the game. I wanted to see the difficulty, feel the challenge of the game, and was like, okay, that's when I did the difficulty 4 run. And during the difficulty 4 run, there was a lot to unpack. The game. I love my Norath difficult. Norath is beautiful and she's dangerous. She should be smacking the shit out of me at every opportunity that I screw up. And that is the Norath that I know and love. So the difficulty 4 run was like an EverQuest fever dream where, I would hit one mob and then all of a sudden I got 11 things beating the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh my God, how the hell am I going to survive this? Like, even just going out into the common lands and attacking, like most of the black wolves, I didn't even attack because they were aggressive. And, like they were just all over me. They were just all over me. I was like, there's just this endless supply of black wolves just chewing up my character. And I don't know, it was crazy. It was crazy. Seeing the enemies, being like, oh my God, these enemies are multi-class. We've got a snake that has a moss snake that has a skeleton pet. And, how deep into the wonderland of EverQuest are we going here? This is crazy. And as I got higher level, it started to snowball. My character's power, the build started to snowball. And, I got lucky. I got lucky with a very powerful build. I went warrior, cleric, bard, and I went warrior, cleric, bard because like during the first edition of the game, the first rendition of the game where I was playing the barbarian, I kept going up against, like, whenever I would switch, the difficulty and fight enemies, I would come across warrior clerics, and they were just an absolute disaster to bring down. I was just like, God, these enemies suck, man. These guys are the fucking worst, man. They've got mana for days. They can heal. They're durable as hell because they're warrior, and they're just a big pain in the ass. And that's what spurred the build. And I was like, well, I want to put a third class on there. Do I go damage dealer? What do I do? Do we build the trifecta? Do we build the holy trinity of, tank healer, damage dealer? And I was like, instead of that, maybe I do support. I played a bard back in the day. My main, back in 1999, probably closer to 2000, was a wood elven bard. And I hadn't really played a bard since. I really didn't give the bard another, big go. And I was like, we'll try the bard. And unraveling the riddle of the bard. The bard is incredibly powerful. The bard might be too powerful. You know what I'm saying? Don't nerf anything. Fuck that. Raise other ships. You know what I'm saying? But it worked out really cool because I wanted to theme my character and be like, I'm gonna make the the warrior poet of Mithaniel Mar, and make this absolute unit of this champion of the Holy Order. And it ended up being an extremely powerful build. Is it the most fun build? Probably not. Because I had no idea. I didn't do a bunch of research on stuff. I didn't know what all spells we were going to get. I was like, is spell progression going to be, when I was building the character, or the concept as well, am I going to get spells like, Project Quorum? Are we going to have spell levels? Or am I going to get spells like every few levels, like a TLP? Like, what does it all mean, Basil? And a lot of that stuff I didn't know, and a lot of the guys also didn't know, and we did a lot of theory crafting and stuff like that, talked a lot of shit. But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to push that difficulty, and I'm glad that I stuck to my guns, and I'm super happy with it, to be like, you know what, I beat the game on the, I beat the game, that's so stupid. I beat Nagathan on difficulty 4. I'm not the first person to do it. I am not the only person to do it. But playing through the entirety of the game, the entirety of the leveling process on the hardest difficulty was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and there were challenges that I wasn't expecting. I went into almost every situation thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to fail forward, and that was a very fun way to play, and very nostalgic for me as, you know, an EverQuest player, because in classic EverQuest I felt like a lot of my progression in my journey through, you know, classic EQ as well as Project Quorum is I was failing forward. I would get so far, I would hit this wall, I would get my ass kicked, and I would slowly chip away at it until eventually I was strong enough to be like, oh my gosh, I'm winning. I'm not just winning, I'm thriving. And that is an awesome feeling for me in EverQuest. And I felt that with the difficulty 4 challenge. So my experience with the closed beta and the pre-order beta, and, you know, moving on to the series that we're doing right now as I'm standing here in the snow running my mouth, I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. And I don't know, I wouldn't change anything. I wouldn't change anything. There's some stuff I would change with the game, not necessarily with my playthroughs, but I have had an incredible amount of fun. So, short answer, fun. My experience with the closed pre-order beta has been fun. What has your guys' experience been? Feel free to answer these questions as well. Like all this stuff, you know, throw out your thoughts and opinions as well in the comment section below. You know, that's okay too. So the question 1, if you're keeping track, question 1 was, what was your experience with closed/pre-order beta? So far, what has your experience with, and I'll narrow that down, what is your experience with EverQuest Legends been? Fire away. All right, moving on to the next giant. What is your favorite part about EQL? What is your favorite part about EverQuest Legends? My favorite part is Norath. Norath is my favorite part about EverQuest Legends. Norath is my favorite part about Project Quorum, and it is my favorite part about P99. And I think for EverQuest Legends, it's cool. It's cool, and it's interesting to see her with almost like a fresh coat of paint, you know what I'm saying? Like they do the revamped dungeons, there's the tri-classes, there's, you know, we've got stances, we've got invocations, we've got, you know, AAs that you gradually get, you know, you seamlessly get while you're playing. It's EverQuest in a different light. And that's cool. But my favorite part is Norath. Norath being, you know, big, nasty, and beautifully dangerous. I think she's less dangerous here than she is in other places. I think that on difficulty 4, she might be the most dangerous. But I love having to learn new things in an old game, if that makes sense. I love having to look at, you know, something that I know and that I love, and have to look at it differently and go, well, how can I make this work? How can I make this work? Because there's a lot to unpack, you know, with the stances, with the, you know, because I'm sitting here playing, I'm playing the whole time, you know, just using divine. I saw this, I stuck with it. I was like, ooh, every time I use mana, it's going to heal me. And that's incredible. And then one comment said, you know, brother, inversion, invocation, give it a go. See how it feels. You know, you're not doing it wrong, brother Northman, but there are other options. And it's fantastic, you know, and you don't sit tick in shit. You don't sit tick in like you do in, you know, P99 or Project Quorum. You stance tick. You know, it's like, okay, I can still see where it's going. If I click recovery, boom. Now we're stance sticking. You know, you can stance. You know, you can jump between these while you're in the middle of battle. You know, what is the most, you know, optimal way while you're in the middle of a fight? You know, you've got your melee abilities, you've got these disciplines, I've got these poisons that are automatically proccing and going off. I've got stances, I've got, you know, the invocations. How can I use all that alongside my spells and alongside my abilities to find success? And that's, I think that's fun. I think it's a lot of fun. So, what is my favorite part? All that shit. All that. Sled is my favorite part. Oh man, he's got big aggro. He's got big aggro. That's okay. The last thing this giant wants is me standing behind it. Well, we beat the brakes off his ass. 49 platinum. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I lost my place in the... Okay, what is... Next question. Next question. So question 2 was, what is your favorite part about EQL? So if you're following along and you want to answer in the comments or write them down and think about them and then put something out, fire away. Question 3. What is your favorite trio? I have no idea. I don't think I found it yet. I've enjoyed all of the trios that I've tried. I have enjoyed all of them. I don't think that I have a favorite yet. I like the Rogue Beast Lord Berserker more than I like the Warrior Cleric Bard. And I think that's because of the challenge. I think that's holistically tied to me as a player and the challenge of unraveling the riddle of victory with this trio, as opposed to what began to feel like at the end game of my difficulty 4 run, the one button wonder. It was like, okay, we're all buffed up. We quick buff. We've got all our buffs. We reload our fight spells. I cast Promised Renewal. I rush in. I fight 20 enemies. And then I'm just sitting here, being like auto attack, Promised Renewal, auto attack, Promised Renewal, throw out an echo, Promised Renewal. It just felt like the one button wonder. And is it powerful? It's absolutely powerful. It's strong as fuck. You can do everything in the game. You can do all the things in the game with the build. It's a very strong build. Is it a fun build? Is it more fun than running around with a puppy? No. No, it's not. It's not more fun. As far as a favorite, I don't think I found a favorite yet. When I do find a favorite and I'm like, this is the build, I'll let you guys know. And there's also so much to take in. It's like, what, like 560? Isn't it 560? 560 combinations? Brother, that's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of options. And I don't know. I like the challenges of difficult builds and being like, can I find success with this? More than I like I'm the baddest man everywhere I go because the game has placed all these abilities. Like Bard is incredibly strong. It's really strong. It's a lot of fun. Bard Charming is super fun. It's super fun. You have like a 1-minute buddy in a battle, and that's really fun. But it's also so powerful that it's hard to overlook. I think some classes are so powerful, or going to be so powerful, that it's difficult to look past them. It's difficult to go, because if you're asking what's the best combination, and that's what you like to play. And no shade to anybody who wants to play. You want to play Bard, whatever. You want to go Bard. You never go Bard. Knock yourself out, man. Play what's fun. That's always going to be my answer. Play whatever is giving you the most fun. But I don't think I have a favorite. I really like the progression of the build I've got going on. I do think that the Berserker stance is like super awesome. But I do think it's like carrying the Berserker. I would like to see more of these. I would like to see more of those disciplines, like the skull crack and the tendon slice. I would like to see him get some more goodies in that department, and I don't know if they do. So the game's in beta, for a little longer. It's subject to change. Oh, I led with the wrong spell. Whoops. That's okay. Sled's got it. Slow him down, Sled. All right, I'll do it. Fine. Moving on. How do you feel about leveling in EQL? And that means basically the speed, the pacing, the path, whatever. How do I feel about leveling in EQL? I think that's a tough nut to crack. And I think that's a tough nut to crack because no self-imposed restrictions. Just You know, I don't have to play on difficulty 4. I don't have to level in a region locked area. I'm probably going to be 50 pretty quick. It's not my first rodeo in Norath. I know a lot of places to go. You know, I know a lot of synergies just from, you know, playing with other people in Project Quorum, you know, and what's going to synergize up well. I'm pretty good at that type of theory crafting and stuff like that. So, you know, coming up with a build I don't think would be incredibly hard, and you can take on reds pretty early. I think the slowest bit is the very end of the game and the very beginning of the game. I think getting to that level 10 is probably the slowest, paired with the last few levels in the 40s. I think but it's probably around like 45 or 46 plus is where it's going to be slow, and then that first 10 is going to be slow. Me personally, if it says you've gained experience, which I've said before, it says you've gained experience, I'm happy. I'm gonna soldier on. I have a lot of fun just running around hitting, sitting, and selling in the game. I think that the pacing is okay for the new player. I think the new player is, you know, gonna find success. They're gonna find levels. I think anybody who picks up the game and takes the time to go, okay, we're gonna learn about our spell gems. We're gonna learn about, you know, the onboarding of the game, stances, and, you know, invocations. Which onboarding of the game could probably use some love. It could probably use some love. We'll go ahead and quick buff back up here. I'm not gonna bother with the potions this time around. We're just gonna quick buff and get our recovery stance on, get some mana back. But I think that the once you start to hit like levels, you know, 12 and 13, it starts to snowball. You start to gain a lot of experience because you start to get into the meat and the potatoes. You start to get into the good of whatever build you've chosen, and you're able to really tear through a lot of shit. You're able to mess a lot of enemies up. You know, you can be like, okay, you know, we're fighting three or four yellows, or we got, you know, a smattering of evens, blues, and a yellow. You're going to win that fight. You're going to get a lot of experience, and there's a lot of places to go. There's also the revamped dungeons, and the higher the difficulty you can play on, depending on what your build is, and depending on what your goals are, the more experience you get. So you spend a lot of time. I mean, even I was, you know, here I'm fighting yellows, and before this I was fighting reds. We've been here forever because there's such good experience for my level. So I think that the pacing for me personally, it might be a little fast, but I think that's because I'm accustomed to incredibly slow. And I say incredibly slow based on, you know, playing Project Quorum. And Project Quorum isn't incredibly slow. It's incredibly slow because I, you know, do the self-found stuff. You know, I'll play with restrictions and stuff like that. And once you start to get into the higher levels, once you start, especially when you get into the 50s on Project Quorum, it's slow. It's slow. It doesn't matter what you made. It's a slow run to max out a character. Can they fix that? I don't know. Do I have a plan to be like, this would be better if they nerfed experience? No, I don't think it would be better if they nerfed experience. Hold on, I need a drink. I think that there would be a lot of complaints if they nerfed XP. You know, they really nerfed XP. I think I would be among the people that complained. I'd be like, dude, why are you trying to drag this the fuck out? Why are you trying to drag this out? I think it's a tough nut to crack, and I think they've landed in a decent spot. They've landed in a decent spot for what they're trying to do. Okay. I'm gonna finish off this giant. I gotta go AFK for a second, and then we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're gonna move on to the next giant. Pause in the hallway here. Swagging through the hallway, looking for a dork. Okay, I'm back, and that took no time for you at all. Moving on to the next question. The next question is, Will he resist drowsy? The answer is no. No, he will not. Anyway, that was a long enough awkward silence. All right, we're gonna move on to a tough question here, and it's how do you feel? Oh no, I skipped one. Oh, I guess that one also starts with how do you feel? All right, the last question was how do you feel about leveling in EQL? You know, the speed, the pacing, and all that. We answered that one. I don't know if was that an answer? Did I have a good answer? All right. All right. This one is how do you feel about the current gear progression? All right, bring it in, nerds. Gather around the snow of trust. Gather around the snow of trust. God damn. All right. I think that gear progression, I'm concerned. It concerns me. It does. I mean, brothers and sisters of the North, let's just take a peek. I am locked in the North. I am locked in Hallis, which, you know, no gear, Everfrost Peaks, Blackburrow, and Permafrost. And Blackburrow is the only revamped dungeon. Blackburrow has been completely, you know, revamped with new enemies, new drops, new things. You guys have seen a lot of the things. But if we just take a second to take a look at my inventory, I have got a keg mallet. Oh, here comes Flux. He's coming in hot. He's coming in fast, brothers. Look at him go. Look at him go. God damn. What a beard. What a legend. Anyway, here comes. Oh, he's got a skunk. Get the fuck out of here. I gotta make a dwarven beast lord. God damn. All right, I got distracted. I'm sorry. We've got the keg mallet. Plus whatever. It doesn't matter. The plus doesn't matter. We've got the keg mallet. We've got the sharp claws. We've got the sharpshooter short bow. We've got the crude arrow. We've got the rune saber-tooth girdle. We've got the well-worn boots. We've got the pub pants. We've got the dark paw sash. We've got the vagrant's tunic. We've got the bark splinted shoulder pads. We've got 2 rawhide arm guards. We've got some ringmail. We've got twin onyx earrings. We've got the sharpshooter's headband, and we have got the studded collar. There's also a couple other items we've gotten out of there that I didn't wear. This is just out of Blackburrow in the classic version of the game, which we are currently in. The classic-esque era. The warped reality of classic that EQL is, and the revamping of Blackburrow alone has outfitted me in better shit than I would have in most other renditions, other than probably retail, of EverQuest. And that is tough because I am a huge fan of the little snack attack that you get, the little pieces and parts, little breadcrumb trail of the loot and progression that you get in EverQuest. And it's a hard nut to crack. It's a difficult situation because with the revamped loot, it's hard to tailor loot unless they're like, oh, this is warrior only, or oh, this is only for the necromancer, oh, this is bard only. There's the chance is that you're going to come across something that you're going to be able to wear because you are 3 classes. So that makes it difficult to create items and come up with loot and come up with things that your character's, you know, not going to be able to wear because chances are one of your 3 classes may be able to wear it, especially if you're a melee type or a tank type, a damage dealer type, and a spellcaster. There's a good chance you're going to find something there, or you're going to find a full set of somethings there. And Blackburrow is not a very high level dungeon. Befallen is also not a high level dungeon. Now, I know that recently they have revamped Splitpaw. And Splitpaw is a medium level dungeon. So they're doing these lower level dungeons, and these lower level dungeons are dropping, you know, really good gear. This is, for example, this is a better weapon than the Woo's Trance Stick that you can get out of City of Mist from fighting specters on Project Quorum that, you know, have a 0.2% drop chance. The enemies here have a 100% drop chance to drop either their rare item or their common item. And I feel that the strat at the moment in EverQuest Legends is to go, okay, let's get high enough level to make it into one of the revamped dungeons. And there's a distinct possibility that that was the intended goal. But when I was playing the difficulty 4 challenge, I went to Befallen, and once I had the Befallen gear, I was in that gear forever. I was in that gear until I got to endgame, until I got to raids. And I don't necessarily like that, because where is the progression of upgrades other than going, okay, well, if you want to upgrade this, then stand in the same spot and kill the same idiot on repeat until it's plus whatever, until it's plus you're happy. And that is the strat. I want to see the game's progression of gear to have comparable item. If you're going to have, you know, weapons like this that are really good, there should be similar weapons or something to compete with it. There should be a reason that I want to go get the keg mallet over wanting to go get, you know, the Baron's blade from Befallen. And that in itself is difficult. That's a difficult thing to do, because everybody is 3 classes. Everybody is already powerful. Everybody is powerful. Everybody is strong. In the closed beta, I was running raids with Slayheim, with Razman, with Classic, with Skeleton, with Sigil GM, with Foulrash, and nobody was, you know, the weak link in our group. All of the class builds, all of the synergies, all of the party members and stuff like that. Now, we weren't all together at the same time, but I never ran with any of them and went, oh, their build sucks. Your character is inherently powerful. Pair that with the fact that your gear is incredibly powerful, and my concern is trivializing the world. To go, okay, well, you know, for it not to be trivial, I have to be fighting Inarok, or I have to be, you know, I have to go up against Kazakh Thule, or I have to play on difficulty 4. That being said, I would love to see higher difficulties. I would love to see, you know, undercon enemies. I would love to see enemies that, you know, whatever they want to do, that are more powerful. I want some of these rare enemies for you to go, bro, this guy is a fucking disaster to fight. There's no way I'm going in there on difficulty 4 and, you know, and laying the smackdown on Rubastank the troll. You know, he's going to walk all up and down that ass. You know, I want it to be difficult, and I want it to be meaningful. So, you know, for me personally, I think that the gear progression, when I go, you know, the Befallen gear carries. It's absolutely carrying my progression or my power, or a large portion of my power in the in the series. And, you know, to, you know, like, okay, let's find out. Let's find out together. We'll take off everything that we got in Befallen. You know, we're testing for science, people. For science. You know, we'll or not Befallen. I didn't go to Befallen. in Black Barrow, you guys know what I meant. You know what I meant. Now, we still use unarmed. I mean, we're you know, we're a barbarian. We still, you know, okay, there we go. All right. And we did get these. We got these out of the burrow as well. It's just ring mail, but that's a standard stuff. That's a standard things. You know, let's get in there and get after you. Oh, we look like such a Chad. Am I still wearing a bracer? Oh, no, that's just the way that I look. And this is you know, this is your character. Now, we are an unarmed fighter. We're a beast lord. We can fight. Our martial is very good. But your character is very powerful. Your character alone, take all the shit off, your character is still a badass. You know, the build of your character is still good. And I know I got magic, and I've also got Sled. Sled is still wearing, you know, he's still wearing some of the Blackborough goodies. You know, and that fight really didn't go a whole hell of a lot different. So your character is inherently strong. Stack on top of that, you know, a whole lot of +7, you know, shit. I don't know. I don't know. It makes me concerned because I want to have stuff. I want to have things to go hunt for. I want to have gear that I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be a game changer. And my class build might be a bad example for that because I'm a beast lord, because I have a pet, because we have sled. But I want the gear to be meaningful. I think is my point, and at its current state, I think that spread some of that gear out. Spread some of that shit out. Not every named guy needs to drop, you know, something that's got, you know, massive bonuses to it. That's got a bunch of bonuses to it. It's okay if they drop weaker gear, or if some of that gear gains the bonuses as you start to plus it. So like, for example, the Vagrant's tunic, you know, maybe it didn't have the hit points, and it didn't have, well, I guess the Vagrant's tunic is a bad example because it's only got like the one bonus. But if it has like 3 bonuses on it, like I'm pretty sure the pristine studded tunic out of Befallen has got 3 stats. It's got like a strength, agility, and dexterity, or something like that. Strength, stamina, and agility. It's got three buffs. If it only has, you know, strength at, you know, its base item, and then, you know, every couple intervals, it gains, you know, the new stat. You know, I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I want it to be meaningful. I want it to be meaningful. And in its current state, it does feel a little like we're gonna get to a certain level. We're gonna run to one of these. We're gonna speed run to a revamped dungeon, and then you're just going to sit in that gear until you get to end game. And you know, what's the point at that point of being like, oh well, we're going to craft some, you know, some bandit, or we're going to craft, you know, we're going to craft some gear, we're going to craft some jewelry. I mean, I don't need to craft earrings. I can just go beat the shit out of a level 10 gnoll and get magic earrings. Why would I bother crafting them outside of the spectrum of it be fun? So, I don't know. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't know. It's just a hope, I guess. To be like, you know, don't fuck it up. All right. We'll move on. We'll move on. There we go. Let me poison him. Let me poison him. Oh, this might be it. This might be the one. He is the dinging giant. We have finally arrived at the dinging giant. We've been answering questions and just beating up big frosty men. Oh man, fuck that giant. All right, one to go. One to go. One to go. I know it's another video of me killing the same idiots. We're gonna do something else at 40. Oh man, big level 40. We've been at the Giants for so long. We've been at the Giants for so long. They've been so good to us. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. That's okay, he resisted anyway. We'll just beat him to death by claw and hammer. Boom. Yeah, damn. I gotta find that dark assassin. I gotta find that dark assassin and put his ass in the dirt. Sensational. Level 40. Terrific. I don't know why I click on those to look at them. Because I like to. Because I like to. What did we get? Any new disciplines? No. No new disciplines. We do get some new magics. I did buy all my spells, by the way. If you didn't notice, I bought all the spells. Big 4-0. And we have unlocked malaria. All right. Deadly plague causing between 63 and 93 damage every 6 seconds for a big fat whole minute. So Sicken has finally been replaced. Sicken has finally been replaced. Terrific. All right, we're going to go ahead and save that. And I think that I'm going to restock some potions. And we might be making our way. Into permafrost. Or we're going to travel all the way over to Blackburrow and start working on some of those bonuses. Some of these here pluses. I think I would like to get the well-worn boots leveled up because more wisdom, more mana. I got to do something about this cloak. I got to figure out a strat for the cloak. Maybe we wander around the tundra a little bit, you know, looking for an assassin to bully. I know that his okay, this is a guess from Project Quorum, but I'm pretty sure this down here, this little building down here is his spawn point, and he will roam. And I don't know where all he roams. Probably much like Kargeist Bear, the whole freaking tundra. And we don't have tracking. So using the map is not very good. Our little tracking ring kind of sucks. But we'll run down there and we'll take a peek. We'll go take a peek and see what we can see. That'd be nice if he was just hanging out up there. And I haven't like checked. So we'll take a peek. Let's learn together. This looks super cool in the distance, by the way. Kind of like this ominous tower. Just overlooking the tundra in the night. Can't see shit. The true barbarian experience. Hello? Hello? Alright, well, there's nobody in there. Alright, I'm gonna make my way back to Hallis. I'm gonna gather up some more potions. I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of these extra ones. Oh, not a single point in safe fall. Whatever. And the sun rises, a red sun rises. Maybe we'll poke about the tundra a little bit, see what we can see. I need to start carrying around my polar bear cloaks. So I think what I'm going to do is grab those out of the bank. Or polar bear skins, because if I happen to see Karg, I'm going to want to turn those in alongside some platinum to get a weaker version of the cloak. I don't think it's the same, and I don't want to kill Karg. Although Karg does drop the Zwei. The Zweihander. Zwei is Bay. It's not better than the Keg Mallet. It's not. So, we're not doing that. But it is another quest that we can do if we come across Karg. But if I come across Karg and I've got an empty-ass inventory, I've just wasted both my time and Karg's time. So I'm going to hit up Hallis. We're going to get sorted out, and we're going to go from there. Alright, we're back out into the tundra, and we're back at the giants. We're not going to take on the giants. I was just combing the tundra here. Made our way back to town. Got, I only had 2 polar bear skins. What the hell is the drop rate? Because I've killed a bunch. Restock the potions, which, by the way, change the appearance of some of these, please. Yeah, damn. I did use one of the potions of frost just because I wanted to see like where it put me, and it puts you all the way over here. This is where it drops you up. This is like the evac point, I suppose. So nice if I'm, you know, headed to Blackburrow, but I wasn't headed to Blackburrow, so I just made the run out here. Kind of ran up and down the tundra a little bit, looking for the dark assassin, and I didn't see him, so we're gonna go into permafrost. Good to see you, big guys. It's nice to see that you're both blue. Yeah, sensational. With that in mind, we're gonna go ahead and we'll go ahead and stealth because stealth actually works through zones, which is pretty cool. I think it's cool, and we do have Shroud of Stealth, so um, I'm interested to see. It'd be nice if it made you move faster. You know, go at full speed while stealth. That'd be cool. You know, give that a couple upgrades. You know, put some points in there. Put some points in there to be like, you now sneak quicker. I think we're gonna make our own personal instance. I haven't created my own instance in this area yet, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna make a personal instance and see what we can see. Maybe find a camp down here. You know, what's in store for us here? We're gonna find out together. I want one of these texts to just say nerd, which I was a response I had to one of the one of the comments. We still are we still sneaking? Terrific. All right. Get out of the way, dork. All right, and I think most of this stuff is gonna be useless. It's gonna be no experience at all because we're now big, strong. We're big, strong, level 40, and with the shroud, it should be. We should be able to sneak past like all the things. I would think. Of course, the ghost of Reckitt's house won't shut up. And we'll get to another question here in a little bit. Let's spelunk around in the frozen area. Can you guys still see me? Nobody can see me. I've got unheard of levels of stealth. Ah, your shroud of stealth keeps you hidden from watchful eyes. Let's go. Let's go. Terrific. You guys don't see shit. I'd beat the brakes off your guys' asses now. All right, let's go poking around where we're not supposed to be. Oh, good lord. Good lord. What's up? What's up, big guy? What's up, big guy? Level 35. Okay. All right, we got. Ooh, they're level 42. And it's like, brother, you don't want no part of that business. You don't want no part of that mess. You got a magus, woolly spider, giant polar bear. Okay, I think those are the enemies that are below. Yeah, because we've got the giant woolly spider. He's level 47. He's a big fucking deal. He's a big deal. What's up? What's up, big guy? Who's in? Let's go take a peek into Vox's lair. Let's go do that for the first time. Can you? Hopefully nobody can see me. All right. Shroud of Stealth. Good call. That nerd is level 50. So, all right. Nope, that's not the way. That is not the way. Can I just come in here? Are we good to go? Hello? All right, we've got the priest of Nagafen. Is Vox not? Maybe she's made her way over to hang out with Nagafen. Look at this guy. Oh man. We got a brother of the north just frozen in a perfect square. Well, this is probably a stupid ass idea to be in this room. This probably isn't the play. Let's go. I like this. I like this Shroud of Stealth. I like this. I'm just gonna poke around and see what I can see. What the hell is back here? Hello, an icy terror? What the fuck is back here? What is this place? I have never been back here. Apparently it leads to nothing. What the hell is up there? Yeah, icy. So it's supposed to be like a treasure chest? That'd be super cool. No, I think they're just blocks. There's blocks. That'd be cool as hell. That would be cool as hell. All right, I don't play in first person. I don't. All right, Icy Terror. You're level 48. If I pick a fight with you, is anybody else going to come pick a fight with me? Oh, no, let's see if we can win. Let's see if we can win. I mean, worst case scenario, we die. Let's pack our ass into a corner here. Nope, no one's coming over here, so... Oh, don't make me cast a bunch of spells on... Sled is holding aggro like a boss. I mean, more backstabs for us. More backstabs for us. I know this is a shit view. This is a bad view. Alright, big guy. Heals are coming in. Alright, we can beat Icy Terror, and Sled is strong enough to stop that. Oh, Skull Bash coming in hot. Stop pushing my dog around. Alright, 2.4% XP, and we got a prickly pear. What the hell am I gonna do with that? Auto sell. Alright. And then back to the shadows. Alright, this is absolutely not where we want to hunt. But I wanted to go have a look. I wanted to have a peek. So I think what we're going to do is... What's up that way? More icy terrors. Let's go fall down the hole there. Excuse me, boys, coming through. Excuse me, don't mind me. Don't mind me. What is that? What is down there? So we got woolly spiders, giant polar bears. Those are just the icy terrors. Let's go back this way and drop down. Ooh, and we're down. Oh man, we fell right into the polar bear pen. All right, is there a good spot down here we can kind of take up? Let's do auto Z. Oh god, what a pain in the ass to see that is. Giant polar bear. All right, level 47. And there's a lot of enemies packed in back there. We got a double spawn, and then we've got wolves in that room. That's probably a death sentence. But maybe we can pick on a dork down here. This could be good. This could be good. Because we've got double spawn here. Them. Which I have no way to, like, pacify enemies. Ooh, it looks like we got a double spawn up here. This might be the play. This might be the play. We've got 2 polar bears right here. We got level 43 and level 45. We're not necessarily buffed up at the moment, but that's okay. What we're going to do is I'm going to attack. That way they attack me. Alright, they're putting up a good fight. They're putting up a good fight. Boom. Alright, I think we can relocate. I think we can move. Let's move to where we can see our character and I'm not shoved into a fucking corner. And it's okay if Sled tanks one of them. He's gonna be okay. He can take an ass whooping. He can take an ass whooping. I do want him and I on the same target though, because it'll die faster. All right, big fat polar bear experience. Terrific. Oh, let's get you dotted up. Whoa, what is the cast time on that? Oh, it's instant. That is an instant cast. Oh. Well. It's big mana. That's big mana, but pretty good. Pretty good. And we'll be able to reset by using stealth, and we also have escape if shit goes sideways. Boom. All right, we are victorious. And we can just quick buff. Crack a potion. Because I don't know what the respawn is. Get our potion going. And then we can go back to hiding. And whilst hiding, we can change invocations and stances and all that and recoup our abilities, so or our hit points of mana. So that's nice. And we could probably once I start to get a level or two, maybe we can start integrating some of these other dorks. How tough this is gonna be a tough room to break. And I also don't know the respawn. So I suppose we can wait out and see what the respawn is some of these nerds before moving forward. But this was mentioned in the comments that there were enemies down here. I'm pretty sure it was Audio Garden who mentioned it. So if not, whoever did mention it, thank you. Thank you. It was a good idea. It's a good plan. And waiting until I was level 40 to come down here, probably the play. Is it going to be better than giants? I don't know. I've got the giant route down. So I think we are creeping up on the end game. 10 levels to go. 10 levels to go. So let's wait and see how long, well, I'm going to wait and see how long it takes for these guys to respawn and if it's worth, because the giants outside are on a very speedy cooldown. And I could probably get another level off of them if I really wanted to, because it's constant XP. Unless there might be a better spot. There might be a better spot than this. I may have to go from spot to spot down here. Because this is absolutely longer. So, and I also haven't explored to see if there's, I don't know if there's any goblins that would be able to take us on at our current strength. But I'm pretty sure if I pick a fight with all of this, we're dead. We're dead. So let's meander about. Let's meander about. And we'll see what we can see. We don't need to take the first thing that appears. It's is this the way out? Alright, there's a red. What's over here? Nothing? Nothing? Just a tiny little hidey hole I could hang out in? Alright. Get over here, boy. Get over here, boy. Alright, let's see if we can pick a fight with him without pulling all the things. Boom. Oh, I love that is an instant cast. That is terrific. Okay. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna fight Sled, I'm gonna stand behind you. You've made the right decision. Fine, turn in to pick a fight with me. We got spiders over there. I think everything should be aggressive as far as I know. Maybe they're not because I'm a beast lord. Maybe they're not. I'll tell you what though, that hobble of the spirits snare, absolutely worth. Yeah, these things are all ready to attack. Okay, let's get a heal on Sled, get a heal on our boy. And then, oh, can we get him? All right, we got him. We got him. And he's coming alone. I don't know why I'm sitting in recovery, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yep, there we go. I mean, I suppose I could sit in recovery, but we'll use inversion because it's it bringeth a quick heal. What kind of poison you guys got? Weak poison. Weird. All right, this might also be a really good area because it's spread out a bit. I can like move further down. I don't know. This was a good idea. All these enemies under here. I don't think we're quite ready for. Oh, terrific. The enemies above. The enemies above are a little too strong at the moment. But these enemies are perfectly fine. That and having full mobility down here, you know, throughout the dungeon, being able to go wherever I want with the Shroud of Stealth. Get on up there. That is perfection. Love that. Love that for us. All right. What's the play here? Oh, we got to drop down. Okay. Blah. Oh, that dropped us right back down here. Okay, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. All right. I'm gonna spelunk around for a little bit. Maybe we'll find a little camp, or I'll come back with another question. Oh, we're going up. We're going up. And up again. All right, we got a dire wolf right there, and absolutely not. We do not want to take on two of those dorks. That is death. Okay, this is the way. This is the way. What's up, big guy? And I'm pretty sure even though we're not like dealing with like Vox, good lord. Good lord. Even though we're not dealing with that, I think if I hit one of these idiots, we fight everybody. I think if I pick a fight with one of these dorks, we fight everybody. Let's go look elsewhere throughout the dungeon. Because a lot of the blues, because we went through that way, we went through there, but we could take on the dorks in this area. I'm trying to think where I've been. I think I need to check out this area down here. So I'm gonna make my way down there, down through here, and if I come across anything cool, we'll go from there. All right, I took a little bit of a peek around the whole zone. Went through all this area here, and we've already been down here. Here's the one room where they're doing like their weird like one of us little, you know, whatever whatever they were doing down there. So I think the play is just to fight critters under Vox's area, I suppose. This little underground area, and just picking fights and trying to win where we can win. So we're creeping up on having a quick buff again. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way. Yeah, damn. And I think using stealth to just recover after, you know, after the fights if I have to. We do have escape, so I can use that to get out of a fight if I need to. I think it's going to slow down from this point forward. I was tired of just being at the Giants doing nothing but the whole time. So we're gonna poke around here. I think I'm gonna take out the spider next. We'll take out the big woolly spider. And let's move on to the next question from the Clickbait podcast. Make sure you guys check that out. Link will be in the description. And that's all these questions answered by Skeleton, Slayheim, and Classic. So I think the last one was the gear progression. Moving on, how do you feel about end-game raids? They're fun. Short answer, they're fun. I don't really have a problem. I like that they're their own little isolated thing. You don't have to clear all the enemies. So it's like a mini version of the zone or the boss. We're just kind of trying to take out the target. So I like that. I like that. I also like that you can get loot even if you're, I guess, like locked out. You don't get like all the loot, and it's like a week. At least it was when I was doing them. You were locked out for 7 days. I don't know if that's changed. I haven't been back to do any of the raids because I jumped over to play this character, and the Ixar I made, I played him for a bit and was like, I need to start cracking on this Barbarian. So that kind of got put on the set on the shelf, got put on the back burner. It was a fun build though. Definitely a fun build, fun character. Oh yeah, we clapped his cheeks. But I guess I'm indifferent. I'm indifferent on a positive side. It's fun. It's good. I don't have experience with 40-man raids from Quarm or, Project 1999 or a TLP or anything like that. So from my experience here in EQL, it's a good time. I feel like with it being like you can only get like a drop, and I know that they're, I don't want to say drip feeding, but maybe drip feed is the proper terminology, if you will. The loot, because raid loot's good. It's good stuff. Those guys have got some good stuff, and he's got some great drops. If you're gonna pick a fight with a raid boss, and you're like, I'm not really sure who to take out. Like, am I cool enough to do this? Use Yale as a test in the hole. There's a little raid gobbledygook hanging out there. Yale is an absolute wet noodle, and it's a really quick one. So you go in there, you fight like 3 or 4 ding dongs. One of them is kind of attached to Yale, but you beat them and then you take him on. And I was able to drop him on all difficulties really easily with the warrior cleric bard. But again, that is a very strong build, so just make sure you're geared up, geared up for in game. Use one of the revamp dungeons to, if you're not geared up, to get geared up. And you should be fine. You should be fine. But short answer, pretty fun. Pretty fun. I enjoy them. I was having a good time. This is this is a room of death. Is there any enemies like right down here, or can we pick a fight with that? Yeah, I think we're gonna be okay. I think we can pick a fight with you. I want to start out from behind. Cool. Lead with the old backstab. Stop hitting my pet. I might have to put one of his heal or something on the bar. Lose one of my abilities. Maybe not. Maybe not. We could just do this. We can just target him and go, "Donna, you're healed. Be healed." So, I guess with the raids, they're good. They're good. They're fun. We're gonna go with fun, and I'm gonna move on. If that's not a great answer, then whatever. Giant polar bear skin. Those for 6 platinum. Yeah, damn. I don't think that's a quest item, so I guess we'll just sell those. All right, terrific. Sled is pulling big aggro. He's pulling big aggro after getting his little upgrade there. That's 2 of them. I'm not dumb. I see ya. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I see your bullshit. I don't think I can pick a fight with this bear here and not pull the other bears. I suppose we can try to use escape if that begins to fail. So let's try. Okay, we got 2. What the hell am I using the bow? Well, that was a bad start. That's okay, we'll let Sled tank one of them. I just want to make sure him and I are on the same target. And I might as well move if we're going to fight 2 of them at a time. Alright, alright, they're bringing the damage, they're bringing the damage. Let's bash you in the skull real quick. Oh, the polar bear room. Fight these 2. Fight the... Well, we would have to fight those 3. We might be able to hang. We might be able to hang. Yeah, Sled, I need you to stop screwing around and help me kill this dork. And then we'll kill that dork. Boom. Alright, let's get you dotted up. I'm about out of mana. Guess we'll jump over into recovery. Maybe I grab taunt. Do I have taunt? Maybe I grab taunt. There we go. That's right. Fight me. Abilities. And we start getting some taunt. We have taunt? Maybe we don't. No, we are tauntless. Alright, whatever. We won. We are victorious. I should have known I didn't have taunt. Whatever. Whatever. Good XP. About the same as, oh my goodness. There are 3 of you in there. Get out of there. About as good XP as running amok and fighting the giants. I don't know if it's better because the fights are harder. We can absolutely take out those 2, but I might just make a little patrol through here and learn the ones I can pull, learn the ones I can kill on, on their own. I wish that these 2 were on a much quicker cooldown, I guess. I gotta do something about Sled's insane aggro. Alright, we'll lead with Drowsy. I don't know what that view was. What the fuck is going on there, man? What the hell was that? Like the clipping through the rock here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to throw one of his heal up here on the bar, because that means I don't have to like stop beating the shit out of the enemy. So let's lose Turtle Skin. Turtle Skin's not doing a whole lot. Let's do that, and I don't think we have aggro. No, we do not. We can do that, and then we can take... That way I can just do this. Throw the heal out on him. And then go right back to fighting without having to mess around with the whole target switch bullshit. Because I don't want to do that. Boom. Oh, we got ourselves a giant direwolf skin. Which I don't know. Let's auto store. I mean, what else am I doing with this stuff? What am I doing with more platinum? What am I doing with more platinum? We already got a 255 alchemy. What else can be done? What else can be done? I'm gonna check that post real quick and see if anybody's anybody said anything. It's starting to get late. I'm running out of time here for tonight's adventure. Seems to be all clear, all quiet. We've covered all that stuff. All right, let's just move on to the next big question. The next big question is, what is your least favorite part of EQL? The quests. The quest. On 2 different occasions, I tried to do the Langsex of the Wolves quest, and it didn't work. So going through and making sure all the quests work, that's important. That's awesome. But that's not my only problem with the quests. On my difficulty 4 run, I did multiple quests, and I was doing them on difficulty 4. So the items I was receiving for the quest were +4 items. So if I had to get like a Griffin Eye, it was a Griffin Eye +4. Or I had to get, this, that, or the other, all the drops from all the critters were at +4. But when I would go to turn the quest in, and I'll use the crafted armor as an example, which requires some monster parts and then like a gem that you buy. And then in Karana, you turn them into the centaurs that are out there. Either one of the 2 centaurs, and that's how you get your warrior-only crafted armor. And the armor itself was rewarded at base, so it wasn't plus anything. It was just the standard normal item. And that suck of the big wink. That suck of the big wink. So I don't like quests, that the quests don't give plus rewards depending on what bonus you've done. Even if there was an average, even if it did like an average, or an incentive to do quests, to be like, okay, quest items, you're going to get the quest item at +2. If they didn't want to go through and be like, we're going to do some girl math or whatever the case may be, and quests were, gave you the item at +2 or at +1, depending on the quest, they would probably have to do some work in that, that department to determine whether this item or the effort to get the item is worth. But that leads me to believe of going, okay, you want to do Soulfire. You're going to get Soulfire at base. So you're going to have to run Soulfire a couple of times, or you're going to have to use motes. Now, I know that the mote system is there for a reason. You can use the currencies, you can use the motes to level up your quest item, and they also have that weird little nerd in towns and major cities where you can give him 2 motes and he will give you the next upgraded version, and you can use that to level up your gear, and that's fine. That's good stuff. I'm glad that that's there. That's awesome quality of life. That's super cool. But if I do the entire quest at a higher difficulty, my reward should be at that difficulty, because quests are harder than typically than going and just being like, oh, well, let's go beat the shit out of the level 10 Knoll and or the level 15 Knoll and get this kind of shit. So I don't like that. I don't like that, and I hope that changes. I hope they do something for the EverQuesters, those of us who like to run quests in the world. I also am concerned. I'm concerned about crafting. I have big concerns about crafting because poison making has been completely removed from the game. We are rogue. You can get a mortar and pestle. You can still go to the poison vendor guy, and they still got all the poison stuff, but it doesn't work. You cannot use poison making. And I know that there are trade skills that require like crushed items or, a crushed gem or something like that. And that comes from the poison making trade skill. And even though it is rogue only, they could make it, for everybody. I mean, alchemy is for everybody. Tinkering is for everybody. Everybody can pursue these. It doesn't matter what class you are. That's been changed. Those items, if you can't get those items either need to be on a vendor, or those items become obsolete. Are they incredible items? I don't know. I can't go through the list. It's just a lot to unpack in the trade skill department, but it does make me concerned about crafting moving forward for later expansions and stuff like that. I like to craft in EverQuest. I like to do the trade skills. I think they're a lot of fun. But I don't like that there's like this weird crafting gray area. Like to do the warp potion that we tried. It was like, this isn't, you don't meet the requirement. Does that just mean it's not in the game? No, I know there were, I've had a couple comments from that because I'm basically recording, throwing it into the editor, smushing it together, throwing it up there on YouTube to get these things out so we can get this series on the move, nerds. Get it out there, get it done. Get the W. That'd be awesome. I'm also enjoying the journey, so and who we've become along the way. But I don't like that there's this massive gray area in the crafting because we're not necessarily 100% in classic because there's still enemies and stuff like that that drop items that can be used in cultural armor. I would like for that to be a thing. I would like cultural armor to maybe get a buff. Give some incentive to go, trade skills are good, man. You want to do these. If you do the cultural armor, it's stronger than it was before. It's a little bit better. Or you craft it at a higher bonus depending on what it is that you use, I suppose. I don't know. I want the crafting to be better. I want the quest to be better. And in the current state, there's not a massive incentive to really do either of them unless you're hunting for something specific like the Soulfire quest for the Paladin, so that you can get the sword with promised renewal. So I don't like that. What else don't I like? what do I hate? I don't like frog locks. Get your ass back in that XR cage and shut up. Oh, man. I think that aggro range still needs some tweaking. I think aggro range could be worked on a little bit. On the higher difficulties, it's pretty insane. I think that some of the items are still a little overpowered. I think that getting a full set of armor out of one dungeon isn't the best plan. I like I said earlier, I know it's a tough nut to crack, but I like to explore Norath. Give me a reason to go to these other dungeons instead of being like, oh, well, this was the Befallen run, this was the Black Burrow run, this was the Split Paw. And if they don't have all the dungeons done, they've got a lot of stuff that they're working on. So I could be completely wrong and a complete idiot, and that's okay. The stuff in Split Paw could be better than the stuff in Befallen, could be better than the stuff in the Burrow. I haven't checked. I don't know. Because I don't need to make a character and go run there and be like, I gotta check this out. I gotta know what's in there. Because nerd, let's have some mystery. Let's put that, the thrill of the unknown back in Norath. Just because they added it to EQL does not mean I need to make a video about it. And that's just me personally. We don't do the news around here. We just play the game and have a good time. So these questions are tough for me because I just like to play and have a good time. And I'm going to do that regardless. Oh, did we fail? No, we're hidden. We're stealthed up. We're all stealthed up. We're just waiting on a dork. So, what else? What else don't I like? I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm drawing a blank. Sorry for the pause. But I guess we'll just move on. I guess we'll just move on to the next one. And the next one's huge. The next one is really big and there's a lot of controversy, and I want to lead with I don't fucking care. I want to lead with that. How do you feel about the monetization strategy? So that's very specific. How do I feel about their strategy of monetization? Nerds got to get paid. Nerds have got to get paid. I know that they're going to get paid. I know there's people that are going to have counterpoints. I don't go to the grocery store and look in other people's carts and go, oh my God, you got Kellogg's? What the hell? You're a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. You got Kellogg's, you piece of shit. Am I gonna promote, micros? No. Am I gonna tell people to spend their money? Absolutely not. That is none of my damn business. That is none of my business, nerd. What you decide to do with your wallet, or what you don't decide to do. And I know that they're there, and people are like, oh, they're there. That's part of the problem. We let this become a thing. This has already been a thing. I don't think that any amount of movement is going to change that. But right now, nerd, there are dresses on sale at Walmart. There are dresses on sale at Walmart, 25% off, 50% off. You could get the clearance dress, 75% off. And I know that, sitting here, hanging out in the ice cave, beating the shit out of monsters. And my thought process on that is, I'm good. No, thank you. No, thank you. And I think that communication with monetization and stuff like that, they should be pretty transparent. Again, I don't follow a lot of that stuff, so I don't know all the ins and outs. But they should absolutely communicate that to their consumer. But they're selling a service, they're selling a product. It's not free. It's not free. You pay for the game. You pay for the sub. You pay for micros if you want micros. I know that the TLPs, everything else in live EQ there's a lot of monetization. I mean, there's a full-blown community, built holistically around the Chrono game. And I don't know nothing about that because it sounds dumb, it looks dumb, it smells dumb. I don't want no part of that. But if that's your thing, whatever. EQL's not having Chrono. I think it's called like Iridium. And I looked at the cash shop, and I know there's a lot of people that are up in arms about the AA potion. They won't sell power. Brother, you're going to get plenty of alternate advancement points without that shit. And if somebody is the AA Lord, they're the AA King. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Those 5 points, those 10 points ain't making or breaking his build. And all you've got to do is go, okay, I'm going to go into my loadout. I'm going to edit my loadout. And I'm going to go back down to level 10. And then I'm going to get AA points by killing at level 10 and leveling up another path. And then if I'm like, I don't really have enough AA points, I can do that again and level up until I've got as many AAs as I need to my little heart's content. And I'm going to have, three loadout slots to go with. All right. Sensational. We're going to be AA tight. When you level up another build, you're going to get a whole slew of these things. Where are they at? We've spent 49 AAs. We've got 9 in the chamber. And I'm looking at a lot of this stuff going, do I really need this? Like, how much is this really making or breaking my build? There's some stuff in here. There's some delicious goodies in here. And I'll pick those up when I get to the level to get them. The level 50 AA seems really good. There's like another one, I think, the Paragon of Spirit. That's the one for level 50. Playing Possum at level 46, Feign Death. That sounds really good. I had to wait for Shroud of Stealth at level 35. And those are all good things. But I saw this one, and it was like, it increases your movement speed by 125% for 18 seconds. No, I don't need that. I'm good. I'll walk slow if I have to. And I know that there's some people that are upset about the communication. I've heard on the winds of gossip that they're upset about the communication between Game John, Daybreak, and the consumer. And we don't know what the communication is like between Game John and Daybreak. So I'm just going to go with whatever it is, and I'm going to decide for myself, because I guess you can fight back with either your time or your money, because I know that a lot of things can be achieved, or at least they've said. I guess I can't say I know because I don't know, but they've said a lot of things can be unlocked via achievements. And the way I feel about that is that's probably the route I'm going to go, because I like playing the game. I'm not going to be mad about getting to play more of the game. And unlocking the races and stuff like that, like through the achievements. I mean, Skeleton made 2 videos and covered the races. At least the races that were available to cover. I don't know. I don't like micros. I don't like them. Am I gonna, make a video and it change the world? No. No, I'm probably not. Am I gonna sit and preach that they're the best thing ever? No, I'm also not. If you play in the game and you're like, I would like an extra bag slot, or I would like an extra, like, what is it, like loadout, or the storage bullshit. Oh yeah, buy slots, equipment and slots. I haven't used any of this. And this is just me, and I know not everybody plays the game the way that I play the game. And that's okay, man. Play your way, play what's fun. Do that should lead the charge. Fuck everybody else and do what is making you smile. And if it's making you smile, grab it with both hands and hang on for as long as possible. That's my philosophy and how I play the game. But if you want to buy this stuff, knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. If you think it's egregious and you're like, absolutely not, I will never give them a dime, that's fine too, man. Do whatever makes you happy. As will I. So I know it's a sensitive topic for a lot of people, but we're talking about microtransactions and in EverQuest. I don't know. I don't know. I personally looked at the cash shop and I said, this is tame as fuck. There's way worse out there. This is for me personally to purchase. This is a nothing burger, man. This is nothing sauce with pickles on it. I'm just gonna play the game and have a good time. And I think a lot of people will play the game and have a good time. Whether they decide to purchase some Dragon Horde or some Trade Skill Depot or bank bags or whatever it is, do what makes you happy and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. And that's why I'm going to leave that one. That's why I'm going to leave that one. That's a lot of, there's a lot of ugly. There's a lot of dark area. And I don't want that nasty shit in my positive universe. So, how hippie of me. Goddamn. So we're going to move on. And this is actually the last official question that happened on the podcast at Camp Check. And it's, what concerns do you have with EQL heading into release? A lot of stuff that I already talked about, a lot of stuff that I already covered, the gear progression, crafting, and I've kind of decided that I think I'm going to do the self-made, just because maybe they'll see me struggle and they'll be like, we need to do something. You know what? We're gonna throw a nerd a bone. Let's do something with the craft skills. And if they don't, and I make it all the way through, and then they do update it, I did it on hard mode. That's dumb. So the crafting, the questing, longevity, but they're cooking, let them cook. They're upgrading or revamping, not upgrading. They're revamping a lot of the dungeons. They're adding a lot of stuff. They're doing their best to put in the work, I believe. I'm excited, and the game be fun. There's fun to be had. And if you can ignore all the negative shit that dumb YouTubers and streamers say, myself included, and just go, what do I want? What sounds fun for me? Because only you are sitting in your home behind your entertainment, and you're the one that has to look at that, and you're the one that has to enjoy. Care about that. Don't let other people tell you what to do with your shit. Longevity of the game, but they're getting after it. I'm gonna stop preaching. Oh my god. Wreck-It Rogue said I could do what I want with my own shit. Put that in the Discord. Oh my god. Oh shit. All right. There were a couple bonus questions, and one was from Classic, and one was from I think one was from Slam. We're gonna breeze through those real quick while I'm just waiting here for these two dorks to appear, because the video is getting kind of long. It's getting kind of long, and I think we're gonna call it good after these last two. And it's also late as hell, as per usual. We're creeping up on 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. Don't worry, I'm not lonely. Do you or have you played a female character? I typically play male characters. I like the beard. I like the beard. I like the beard. I typically play male characters. I don't know if that's just because I am dude, but I do have a long-lasting female character, and it's actually in the Destiny franchise. From Destiny 1 into Destiny 2, I played with my brother Zombie. And I don't know, the male humans just look dumb. They just look dumb. And there's no, you know, racial bonuses for being either the alien or the robot in Destiny. But I went with the female because she looked cool. I was like, she can get it. You know what I'm talking about? You picking up what I'm putting down? And that became Yolandi, my character for quite a few years. I played Destiny 1 with him for about 4 years, maybe a little longer than that. And then we've done some Destiny 2. It's been an arduous space journey. So yeah, I have. And Classic said he played a female night elf in World of Warcraft because the males look like gangly and dumb. And he's not wrong. They look gangly and dumb, but don't lie to the world, man. You made a night elf because of the little hop. You made a night elf because of the little hop. Ah, fuck. I can't wait for him to get to that part of the video. Oh shit. So I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. The only way I would have a problem with, you know, dudes playing female characters is if you're, you know, I mean, in this political economy, you're gonna you trying to trick people and be weird? But who the fuck is doing that in EverQuest, man? I don't know. I don't care. Play what looks cool. If you love the character, get after it. Get after it. So, I do have a brother. I do have a brother that always plays a female character. So we're story time. Story time. And we played EverQuest. He had a female dark elf. And then we moved on. We played World of Warcraft, and he was also a female night elf druid. We played Star Wars Galaxies, and he was a female in that. And then we moved on to Star Wars: The Old Republic, and he had a human female sniper. No. Was he a human female? No, I think it was a Chiss. I think it was a Chiss female when that came out. I think he did a race change to switch over to being a Chiss. I think he began as a human though. But I asked him, I said, brother, why do you always make female characters? Why you always play female characters? You know, is there like a meaning, or is there anything behind that, man? You just over here gooning? You just over here gooning playing your character? Because we're brothers. And he was like, listen, man, listen. 90% of the time, you're staring at the ass of your character while you're playing these games. And while you're over there staring at a hairy ass man, I got something nice to look at. I was like, all right, well received. Well received. All right, the final question. The final question. And then we're gonna be calling it. We're gonna be calling it good. The final question is, how do you feel about the Luckland models? Should they be left out or included in EQL? And I'm gonna answer with, I don't give a shit, as long as classic models are an option, because the Luckland models look stupid. It's okay. It's okay if you love them. It's okay if you love them. It's all right that you're wrong. All the elves have like neck cancer and they look dumb. And classics, he was like the Ixar look cool. They look sweet. No, they don't. No, they don't. Stop lying to people, man. No, they don't. I'm a classic models, Andy. I don't know. There's just, and it's probably nostalgia. That's probably the leading reason. I think the animations look better. I don't know. It just doesn't, it starts to not look like EverQuest to me the further away we get from this. And that's, that's it. That is it. We got ourselves 39% towards level 41. I'm gonna mosey my ass on out of here. This video has been long as hell. I'm pretty sure I said, now that I brought it to your attention, you probably already caught on. But I said it like a billion times, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not good at this. Questionnaires. But it's been absolutely badass. I'm absolutely loving the journey. I'm feeling good. We're level 40. We're level 40. We're moving up in the world. We're moving up in the world. We're getting stronger. One day, hopefully, we can come in this room. We can walk in here and steal a victory. That'd be badass. That's a lot of dorks, though, man. That's a lot of bad guys. All right, we'll just hang out with the Icy Terror here and call it good. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh man, what to say? What to say? How do I express to you nerds, channel members, that it means more than you know? It means more than you know, and I appreciate you. Everybody hit me up in the compliment section. You guys are the shit. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to this long ass video. If you made it this far, you're an absolute champion. Absolute unit. All right, barbarians. Membership to the channel only costs $1. All right, nerds. I'll see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you. Goodbye.